you know, for the homework, which I didn't hand out, but I will, is
Just write something.
well, it's to write a mallet script to read a song file.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you read this MIDI file, and what I'm actually doing, I'm going to give out row.midi, so everybody has the same file. Because in the past I've given it out, and some people, you know, people put a MIDI file from a separate band and download it. The problem is you can't really trust everything you download, you know. It may have errors, it may have issues, it may have non-standard things, you know. So I think I'll email out the row your boat. Everybody can do that. They make their map band, process that, and it's a nice simple thing to do, you know. So, and then maybe actually what I'll do is I'll give row and twinkle, so that you've got two files to compare it against, right? Because whenever you're designing something, you want to test the robustness of its input to varying parameters. So you want to have different test cases to run. So that's a good scenario. Yeah, I'll give out those two. I've actually got a third one. I forget what that is. They're good files. Okay. Any questions?
I was just wondering about with the pitch bend written into a file, if you were like writing, how would it come through? Would you have to fill out every little step of the way, or would you put like a start and
Yeah, no, as far as I understand it, it tells it every step.
I think it makes sense.
So it's an interesting question because, you know, how quickly you move the pitch bend. It's kind of like, I think it's up to the device to sample that and send it. So you would, you know, depending on how often it sends it, it may send, you know, if you move it really quick, it may say, you move the quarter of the way up, and then it may be up to the synthesizer, you know, the receiving device, to move it gradually, you know? So it doesn't just jump up a quarter step or whatever, it bends up to it. But as far as I understand, there's no, like, actual speed with the pitch bend, that it actually just sends it as you move it. And that's one of the things I wanted that MIDI program for, was to, you know, to go through and I wanted to be able to turn the pitch bend knob and see the status information. But we'll see. If they get back to me about educational pricing, maybe I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested if it was limited by what they set it for the pulse recording it, if it's limited that way, or if it's its own sampling rate.
Yeah, that's interesting, and that probably gets to whether you're talking about, you know, a recorded file with a device that sends out its commands versus you notate it in some program, and then, you know, put in whatever it is for a pitch bend. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how it does it too, because like if you know, slurring a note is really, you know, that's kind of usually like, I'm not sure how you notate a pitch bend as opposed to like with a guitar, like a tablature. You know, slurring would be like a hammer. You don't apply new attack, you just change the pitch, or a slide, exactly.
What do they do? They have the bend tone too.
Well, that's a whammy bar thing, yeah, like a V. But yeah, for pitch bends, they usually draw like a swoopy line, and it'll just be like that, and then they'll say like half or something.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so you know, so it'd be interesting. If I don't know what like a MIDI program with notes allows you to put, if they like something like that, or you know, because the slur would be different. Slur, you know, for the pitch bend, you would think you hit the note and then you pitch bend up and then you just hold it and then you do a note off. Whereas if you had a slur, you'd expect it to have note on and then a different note on, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's an interesting one. And this comes to like a lot of things. Like if you try to like simulate a trombone in MIDI, how does it do it? Because you know, if you're doing those slides, well, okay, that's pitch bend, but then you're hitting notes. It's like, do you transition from some point from a pitch bended note to note? Or is it, once you pitch bend to a note, you just hold it there and then you turn off the old, so you know, if you slide up a whole step and then you hold that for a while, then you turn it off, it's like, you're turning off the C, but really the pitch coming out is the D.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe there's another use for the mono if you want to play
Yeah.
So that way, when you hit multiple notes, you get a different, like, oh yeah, another thing with the mono, this is just the synth though. If you hit one key and nothing else is hit,
Yeah.
then it has like an attack noise. And then if you hit another key at the same time, it'll only play the new key, but it won't have the attack noise. It'll like give you a smooth.
Oh, okay. There probably are like a bunch of features like that.
Yeah.
If you want to use it, there's probably things you can configure. Yeah, I just never looked into it. I've never played it. Most of the stuff I've done with MIDI is I'll take like the little, the key recorder. I'll record it into Pro Tools, and I'll use that to record keys, and then I'll do I have a Yamaha drum kit that's 7 tags all in like one box, and so you can drum on that to get drum music. Yeah. And then it really mess with the piano to really get it to sound reasonably good.
Yeah, I don't have a drum pad. I've been getting okay at using the keyboard for these simple beats.
Yeah.
Normally I just write things in.
Most of the time I write them in and then cut and paste. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to drum. The drum. This one isn't good because this one doesn't have a MIDI out. So like you can play on these and you can program this drum machine on these pads, but you can't use it as a controller. But you can buy controllers that are just the thumb.